Hello and welcome to another ARCHLineXP tutorial with Hendrik. In today's tutorial, we're going to look at how to import a DWG and how we can start building up that DWG 2D into a 3D model quite instantly. So in this tutorial, we're just going to cover the ground floor. So we'll just start with creating some walls, windows, and doors. And then in each following tutorial, we're going to cover all the other aspects of this design. So let's go ahead and we'll go and create a new project. And we'll go new project. And I'm just going to locate the DWG and I'm just going to drag and drop it into the model. Now I'm going to use this ground floor plan. Okay, now it was created at a scale of 1:100. So simply all I need to do is go to interpret AutoCAD unit as 100 millimeters. So that's 1 millimeter is interpreted as 100 millimeters. So all I need to do is just click OK, place the design. Okay, now for this one, I'm just going to delete everything else. Okay, so we have everything in a single layer. And we're just going to change this layer that it was imported as. And we can just create a layer right here with a layer manager. And we'll call it DWG underlay. Okay. So we'll just select this and we'll go to DWG underlay. Okay. And so in the layers manager, whenever we hide and unhide, for example, let's go to DWG underlay. Whenever we hide that, it no longer shows on our plan. And whenever we unhide it, so we'll go back here, we'll unhide it and unlock it. It's going to come back onto our floor plan. So this is a pretty good method of using anything in your model to unhide and hide. Okay, so we have a DWG ready. Now what we want to do is we're going to do this very quickly. Okay. However, the first thing we need to set up is actually our walls and our floors. So these are brick cavity walls. So this is quite a typical Australian construction. So we're going to set up that wall type. So if we go to walls, we can find here 270 double brick cavity with render on both sides. So we'll just go and have a look. Okay, so for this one, there's a special way I want to set this up so that it actually creates the construction accurately. Now I'm not going to go into too much detail, but you can follow along and see how this is actually going to look and what the result of this is. Okay, so for the exterior side, I want to set that to top of structure, sorry, bottom of structure. So this is going to be in line with the slab, just at the bottom of it. So I'm going to go bottom of structure, and this is the interior side, which is going to sit on top of the slab. So it's going to be top of structure minus 15 because we'll have a 15 mil floor finish. So I'm just going to go minus 15. Okay, so we have a cavity, we have all of that. So I'll just hit OK. And then another thing I want to change is actually how this appears. So I actually don't want this background fill, so I'm just going to disable that. Disable, and I'm just going to hit OK. And I'm going to overwrite this. So just so I know which wall this is, I'll just go number 1, just label it that so I know where it is. Okay, so it's right there. Activate. Okay, click OK. So now when we draw this, just to give you a quick demonstration of how this is actually going to look. Okay, so this is going to be on top of the slab that's going to sit below. Okay, so what we also want to do is we want to go to ground floor plan, and we want to set up the actual slab structure. So it's going to be minus 105, sorry, 115, because that's a 100 mil slab plus a 15 mil floor finish. So that's what it's going to be. So I'm just going to hit OK, and we can see this has actually adjusted. Okay, so now we need a slab. So we'll go to slabs, and I'm going to create a custom slab. So we'll go and make a copy. So it's going to be a 100 millimeter slab plus 15 millimeter finish. And I'll just go hit OK. And we'll go to properties. Okay, and for now, I'm just going to make all of this concrete light. And I'll just hit it like that. And slab structure, I'm going to go minus 100. Okay, and I'm going to go minus 15 for the floor finish. So I'm just going to make this like a wood texture. Just go wood, find something quite nice. We'll just go with this one. Okay, so that's looking good. Base offset from the floor. So we want it to go from top of structure down. Okay, now we just want to adjust this material. So the top, we want the wood texture right there. Okay, and so that's looking good. Okay, so now we have our slab. So we'll just go OK. Okay, so you can see, let's say the wall's going like this. Just go to slab. Okay, and we'll just go like this. And we'll make sure it selects like that. Okay, so now you can see this slab actually is cutting correctly. So if we bring it up like this, you can see that the structure is now sitting properly. And then at the bottom here, we can do a 300 by 300 foundation wall. Okay, now that's just the basic of it, the basic part. So we're going to delete this, and we're going to start automatically creating all the walls. So one thing we might just quickly do is to turn off our line weight scale so we see the lines without a thickness. Okay, so now we're going to go to this really handy tool. It's called Walls on DWG Drawing. Okay, so all we have to do for this great tool is to go select the endpoints and then select a thickness, and we have our wall. And we'll do the same with this side. We'll select the outside edge like that, and we'll select the wall like that. Go from here to here, and we'll select the thickness. Oops, from here to here, and we'll select the thickness. And from here to here, just select the thickness. Okay, so now we've actually placed all our walls. Now all we need to do to convert these walls to the proper wall is we just select all of them, and here we can see we just need to create a connection here. Okay, and all we need to do is select all of these walls. Okay, and select this one. Okay, so now we've actually instantly created our walls. So it appears that there's just a few mistakes here that we just need to correct. Okay, so this wall is the wrong way around. So we'll just go find this wall. Where is it? So this one is the incorrect way around, so we can just quickly replace it. Okay, and we can just go to our wall tool, and we can just go from here, and we'll just place it all the way to here. So let's just have a look, and that's looking good. Okay, so let's just see what's happening here. Okay, so we have a bit of an issue here, so we'll actually be able to fix that. So you can see you can just move it back, and you can go to L connection, just like that. Okay, so it's actually looking good now. Okay, so what we need to do now is we just need to add our slab. So to add our slab, it's extremely simple. We just go to slab by walls, we select a 100mm slab, and we just go here, and simply we just need to select our walls like that. Okay, just like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, and just finish all of these. Okay, and we'll just hit OK. So now we have our 100mm slab, and it's connecting properly. So if you move one of these walls back, you can see that we now have a 100mm slab with a 15mm finish, and this is all constrained. So if we change our wall height right here in the properties, you can see, for example, if we change this to 2700, all of this is going to change. So that's all going to update. So if we go and change it, for example, and we make it 8 meters, it's all going to change. So it's all constrained, and it's all parametric. Okay, so we'll just go back, properties, and we're going to leave that at 3 meters. We can make adjustments in the next tutorial, but in this one we'll just kind of cover how to do the basics. Okay, now the thing that we need is we need some windows. So I'm just going to check the height on this. Okay, so we need to do, for the next floor, we also need to do minus 1.5. Okay, and this false ceiling, I'll leave that 2700. Okay, so we need some windows, and we need some doors. Oh, actually we also need some internal walls, so we'll quickly go through that. So we'll just go here to walls, and we'll go to 90mm stud with plaster on both sides. And the only thing that we need to change is we'll go here, we'll go no hatch. Okay, and we need to select where it's actually connected. So it's going to be bottom of structure, the top, and the base offset from the floor needs to be top of structure minus 15 mils. So that's going to cut through the floor finish, and it's going to connect right on top of the slab, which is the correct way of doing it. Okay, we're just going to call it, this has been incorrectly labeled, 90mm stud with 10mm plaster on both sides, and I'll just label this like that, and I'll just make it available only in this project. Modify, okay, activate, okay, and we'll just quickly do a test to see if that's working. Okay, let's just go have a look. Okay, so we might have just made a small mistake, so we just need to quickly make some adjustments. So we can just easily go back to our wall, go properties, and I think it might have to do with the individual layers. And as you can see, we've only constrained the one layer, so we need to make sure all of them are the same. So we'll just quickly do that. This is good practice to just double check once you've created something. Top of structure, -15. Okay, we'll go here to the top height and we'll make all of these the same. It's quite vital to actually just check your walls when you've created one to make sure that you've actually constrained all the layers, not just one. So I'll go OK, I'll go modify, and I'll go overwrite it, and I'll click activate, and I'll click OK. So now if we create our wall from here to here, we'll see that it's constrained. Okay, now let's just try it again. We'll go to our model, we'll go here, from here, and we'll hit F5 to change the position. Okay, and let's just see. Okay, so that's looking good. So now all I need to do is just need to continue placing these internal walls. So these go down right to the top of the concrete. Okay, so let's get back to it. So I'm just going to continue on with this. So I'm just going to delete that so I can do it again. Okay, so we'll continue on with this one. And we'll just hit F5 and hold Shift to make sure it stays in a straight line. Okay, so we have that part. We'll go here. We'll do the same thing. Hold Shift and go like that. Okay, and we have an internal wall right here. So we'll just go here and extend it right to this edge. Okay, and we have the garage right here. So we'll just make sure we get that part. Just hit F5. And we'll just go right like that. Okay. Right, and we'll do this part as well. Okay. Let's see what we still need. Okay, so we need to do this one. So it goes all the way like that. And we'll do this little nook where the shower goes for the bathroom. And we'll go like that. Okay. So we have those internal walls. Okay, let's see that we're not missing anything. And we have this little cupboard right here. So let's just go like this. Okay, so now we have our internal walls. Just have a look. There's this custom one, which we can go back to when we actually do the interior parts. But in this one, I'm just gonna create this part. It's a bit of a confusing way this wall is actually being created. So let's just go like that. Okay, so we have that like that. Okay, let's just quickly see if we go like this. Yes, like I said, this is a bit of a confusing feature, this wall. so we can go back and we can actually fix how this is actually going to look. This is like an interior feature. Okay, so one thing I just want to do is I just want to make sure I hit rebuild. Okay, so we can see now we have our floor, we have the actual structure set up how it's going to appear. Okay, and now we just need to do we'll do a few windows up here. Okay, so we're going to go window by 2 points. Okay, and really simply we just go like this, and we select the 2 points, and we can go back and we can actually go modify this window. So I'll just double check this wall. Okay, so all right, so let's go and modify this window. So this window, we actually want a really nice thin frame, a dark aluminium frame, and we don't want any sills because this is actually going to go right to the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, actually I'll just edit it first. So I'll go into the edit tools and we'll go in here where it says interior and exterior sills, and we're going to disable this. Okay, hit redraw. Okay, this doesn't need a handle, so I'm going to disable that. And then for the frame, I'm sort of just going to guesstimate here, but I want something that's really thin and gives like a modern touch to it. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we'll just go like that, and we're going to edit some of these settings. Okay, and just make these ones a little bit smaller, maybe this one. Oops. Okay, so let's see. Okay, main parameters, the thickness, I don't want it that thick, so just want it at 50. And I'm just going to change this to gray, make it a dark gray, actually aluminium. Let's just have a look. Bright aluminium. That should be okay for now. And we'll just go okay. All right, and we want to make sure the window is distance from wall line. We'll set it to 50. Maybe we can change that a little bit. So let's just go back to our window and see what's happening. Okay, basic geometry. Okay. Now you can see I've done something not quite right here. So I'm going to make all the other ones the same. Okay, so make this one 10, 0. Okay, so this should be okay for our purposes. Now you can modify them however you like, but this should be okay. Just a simple frame with a simple external frame. So I'm just going to go okay, and I think that'll do for now. That will be fine. Just have a look. Now one thing we probably need to change is the glass. Let's have a look. Right. So, okay, so this window, I actually wanted, see if we go to 100, 120. Okay, actually wanted, maybe actually right to the edge. And you can kind of customize this, to go right where you need it. and I think that'll be okay for now. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to change the elevation of this window. I'm going to go elevate, and I'm going to go and make sure it goes right to from the bottom. Okay, and now I can actually change the height. So we'll make it, let's see, 2300. Okay, and we'll have these windows right here. Actually, these ones go in the middle. So I just fix that. It's not correct. One 20, 140. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and actually just move a copy just across like that, and another copy. So to do that, what I just did was I just basically copied it across. Okay. If you go onto your window, you can click on it, left click, and you can go move a copy. So you can do that in 2D or you can do it in 3D. Alright, so we're going to use this same window and we're just going to actually adjust the sizing. So I'm going to go move a copy, and I'm just going to go here, and really all I need to do is just click here and go change size and just match it to my drawing. Okay, now these probably need to be, let's go have a look. Yeah, so that's okay for now. Just gonna go, these ones that were previously created weren't in the quite correct position, but that's okay. Right, so I'm just gonna go and select on my window, just left click and go change size. Left click and just go change size. Okay, and we can just click on this one right here, and I'm just going to go move a copy, and I'll just move it here. Actually, the same size, so that one was quite easy to do. There's one down here, and there's another one there. So I'm just going to go move a copy right here, and we'll just adjust this size. Now this one seems to be change size, just like that. It should be okay for now. We can always fix it afterwards. So I'll just go move another copy, and I'll move it right to here. Okay. And this bathroom window is actually a custom window. So we'll first create some of our doors, and then we'll get straight to that custom window. So now we can see we have all our windows quite easily. We've just kind of copied them over, and that's worked quite well. Okay, now what we need to do is for this floor, we need to do our doors quickly. So we need to locate the sliding doors. Okay, so if we go to door, and we'll just go and go to sliding door, and we can find the correct one. I believe it's it should be this one. So we'll just drag that, place it with the endpoints, so we can just go like that and like that, place our endpoint. Okay, and what I firstly want to do is I want to make sure this the sliding door looks quite nice. So we can see the frame is a little bit thick, so I can actually just reduce this frame a little bit. For thickness, we'll just go 100, just to give it a bit of a less bulky look. Okay, And some of these, we'll just kind of make them a little bit less, just to give it that modern feel. Okay, and we just go okay, and we can move it a little bit to the external part. So we'll just see that looks fairly in place, so we won't need to do much modification with that. So what we're going to do now is we're simply just going to click on it and we're going to say move copy. So we need to hit F5, so we make sure to hit it by the endpoint, and we're going to make sure our node is right here on the internal side. So I'm just going to go like that. Okay, so now we have our two sliding doors. Very simply, I've just copied and placed and modified them. Okay, now let's have a look. Okay, now that's looking quite good. Now what else do we need to do? Right, so our other doors, we can see there's a smaller sliding door there. So I'm just going to go like that, and I'm just going to go copy, and going to make sure that it's on the internal side, like that. Okay, now all we're going to do is just resize it. Just click here, go resize, like that. All very intuitive and very easy. And we're just going to move it a little bit to the outside. A little bit more. And a little bit more. Okay. Now these ones are actually for visual purposes. I'm quite fussy, so I'm going to move them right to the external side to make it a bit more flush with my wall. Distance from wall line 140. Now you can tweak these and move them and sort of do whatever you want. Okay, so that's looking a little bit better. Actually, these ones, I want them right to the edge. So let's go 180. Yeah, so that's looking a lot better. Maybe 190. Right, so that's going to be right flush with the wall, which I actually quite like. I'd prefer if these were flush with the wall. So with this one, I'm going to go 190 like that. Okay, now that's actually looking much better. Yes, okay. Now I don't know if this is the correct way, but that's just what we'll go with. I quite like it. Okay, let's go to our floor plan. Now, what we need to do is we need to create some simple doors. Okay. All right, so let's go to our doors, and we're just going to create a normal door. However, I actually don't like this color, so I'm just going to go with white. Not white ceiling, just white, bright white. Okay, white, and I'll just hit OK. And maybe the thickness is a little bit too crazy. That's way too crazy. Just bring it down a bit. That's not right. Maybe I'll leave it at 100. But I might just adjust the frame a little bit. Frame, I just make that 50. Okay, that's looking a bit better. All right, so I'm just going to save this, overwrite, go activate, and go OK. Now we can just really go ahead and hit F5, and we can just place our doors and just resize it. Okay, that's one way to do it, is to place it and to resize it. Okay, or another way is to actually go door by 2 points. Okay, and then you can simply just select the point like that. Okay, and it's going to create the wall. Sorry, the door. Now what we need to do, click mirror, in, out. We want it to go this way, And distance from wall line, we actually want it to be 0 because this is an internal door, so it's sitting right at the studs. Okay, now simply we can just go remove a copy. We'll hit F5 and we can actually go and just switch it around like that. Just hit F5 so we get one of the corners. Go like that. Okay. So it's quite a useful tool to have. We can just go right here and just select like that. And we'll create another one over here like that. Okay. And we need this is just a cupboard door, which I quite like to customize so that it looks nice. So we're just going to go to doors and we'll go double door. And I'm going to hit F5 and I'm going to go internal, so we can just change it, and I'm going to hit F5 again so I can just move it right there. Okay, and for this door I'm just going to make sure 0. Okay, so we have our doors, we have some windows. So now we're just going to basically, we'll go here to our layers and we're just going to hide this layer. So Karima ground floor, and I'm just going to go and hide all of these. Okay, so now you can see we have our plan. It was quite simple to create it. Yeah, and so we have our ground floor. It's quite clean, and we can start to create the other features. Now the last thing I want to create is I actually want to create a foundation wall. Okay, so we're going to do that. So I'm going to go to the foundation tool. I'm going to create a 300 by 300 foundation. So with slabs, okay, you just need to go here to closed foundation. Okay, and foundation width 300, just like that. But now we just need to create an actual slab for that foundation. So we're going to go 300 by 300 millimeter foundation. Just hit OK. Okay, and we'll go find that one. Let's go have a look where we saved it. Go back to slabs. So there it is. So we're just going to go and delete some of the slab layers we created. So we're going to go minus 300. Go OK. With this, we're going to go to concrete light. Okay, and we're just going to go and change this to concrete light. Going to go OK. Going to go overwrite it. Going to hit activate. Okay, and base offset from the floor, we want to make that so it's going to extrude from the bottom of the structure. Okay, so that's where it needs to be. We'll go just make sure it's overridden, and we'll go activate. So quite simply, oh, sorry, for our foundation wall, we need to go to the foundation tool. Closed foundation, foundation width 300, and we'll just go here. We'll just go like this. Okay, just go like this, like that. Foundation like that, just do all the corners. And just make sure you hold shift so that it's going in a straight line. So shift basically just constrains it in a XY direction. So you can see if I hold shift, in one direction, it's only going to go in that direction. So I'll just go like that. Okay. And I'm going to hit OK. Okay, so now if we go, we can see that we now have a foundation wall. Okay. Now we have our ground floor set. Okay, we have the basic set. We have our exterior walls. We probably need a garage door. Okay, so with creating our garage door, we can just go up here to the design center. So we can either go here to doors, or we can just try to find it really quickly. And I'm going to use this garage door. So we'll just place it like this. So you can see it's opening to the external side. So we can just make some really quick adjustments. So I'm just going to go change size. And I'll actually just turn my my DWG background underlay back on, so I can just quickly see where I need to extrude that to. So we'll go change size. Okay, and then we'll just change it like that. Okay, and I'm just going to move it back a distance from wall line. Let's see if I just make it 100 and just move it right to the center. Okay, now I'm just going to go to this and I'm going to actually just make it closed. Oh, and we need to change this material. So we'll just make it an aluminium material. Okay, so I'll go OK. And I'll just select on it. And here where it says opening angle, I'm going to change that to 0. Okay, so now let's just turn this background off. So just select on it, go like that. Okay. Oops, let's try again. So go like that and like that. Okay. So now we have our garage door. Now we can always change how it appears in the 2D, but for the moment, this should be fine. Okay, so we have everything we need so far. So that kind of covers the tutorial for today. And after that, we'll move on to how to create our second floor, how to actually fix this door a little bit. And we're going to see if we missed anything else, but that should cover it for today. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, please leave a like and comment. And if you have any questions, leave those below. And we look forward to doing another tutorial for you.